Hello and welcome to Banbridge Academy. We are very glad that you will be sitting your AQE Common Entrance exam with us in January. This is a short video to let you know what to expect on the day.
There really is nothing to worry about. We will all be here with our teachers on each assessment day to help you. So listen to us and we will show you what will happen on each day.
On the morning of the assessment, please arrive at school from 9 a.m, but no later than 9:15 a.m, so that your child can enter the school buildings via the correct doors and be seated in good time for the test, which must begin promptly at 10 a.m. We would ask that this year each pupil is dropped off and collected by only one adult. No cars will be allowed on site, so parents should familiarise themselves with suitable parking options provided around the town and leave plenty of time to enter the school gates from 9 a.m. It is important that you enter on foot through the gate clearly marked entrance and leave via the gate marked exit. Use the pavement to walk with your child up to school, but walk on the driveway as you leave. Don't worry, there will be sufficient prefects and staff available on the day to direct you. Your child will have received a coloured lanyard in either red, blue, green or yellow, along with an information pack from us in the post. It is absolutely essential that your child arrives through the main entrance gate on the morning of each assessment, walks up the pavement with their lanyard clearly visible over any coat they may be wearing. They will keep the same lanyard for all assessments and must wear it the entire time they are on site, so that staff and prefects can quickly and efficiently direct them to the correct venue and to their individual seat. This lanyard has specific information on it that refers only to your child for this reason. It's important that parents and their children socially distance themselves from others as per current government guidelines as they walk to and queue at the correct entrance. Staff and pupils with a red, blue, green or yellow lanyard will be standing outside school to help direct each pupil with a coloured lanyard to the correct entrance. Red lanyard holders will enter the school for the doors at the atrium, blue via the doors at the lecture theatre, green by the doors of the sports hall and yellow by the doors of the dining hall. Please ensure that your child has most importantly brought with them their AQE admission card. Also 2 pencils, a rubber and some tissues. They must not bring any food or drink with them. They must not wear any kind of wristwatch or bring a mobile phone, even if it is switched off. They must not bring any kind of electronic device or a pencil case to the assessment. We would ask that P7 pupils would wear their school uniform on the morning of each assessment and bring a coat, as both pupils and parents may have to stand outside and queue as children sanitise their hands upon entering the school. There will be hand sanitiser at every entrance, but if pupils prefer to apply their own from a small bottle as they enter the building, they may bring a small bottle with them. Parents must not enter the school buildings. We would respectfully ask that once you have seen your child safely into school, that you would walk down the left-hand side of the driveway and leave the school grounds via the gate marked exit, without lingering to talk to other parents or pupils, either inside or directly outside the school grounds. Once your child has been shown to the correct room, some of which will be small classrooms and others which will be larger venues such as the assembly hall or sports hall, they will need to locate their seat and desk, which shall be labelled with their candidate number. This room, seat and desk will be the same for every assessment. Pupils will be given the opportunity to go to the toilet before the assessment. However, this process will take longer this year as we observe social distancing, so pupils are strongly encouraged to visit the bathroom before leaving their own homes. If your child needs to go to the toilet during the assessment, they should raise their hand and they will be escorted by a prefect. They must not talk, and as per AQE guidelines, they will not receive any extra time. Pupils will not be able to go to the toilet during the last 10 minutes of the assessment unless it is absolutely necessary. Pupils will either be seated in small rooms with other pupils from their primary school bubble, in which case they will be seated 1.25 metres apart, or in larger venues with people from other primary schools and bubbles, in which case they will be seated as per guidelines 2 metres apart. Seating plans will be maintained should track and trace be required. Pupils will be allowed to wear face coverings if they want, but will not be required to do so. They can also wear face coverings whilst in the corridors and remove them for the test if they wish. Prefects and staff will be wearing face coverings or visors. So please warn your children of this, as sadly this year they may not always see our reassuring smiles. All pupils will be encouraged to keep 2 metres apart when walking around the school. A one-way system will be in operation. We remind you to please keep your child at home if on the morning of the assessment they wake up with symptoms of the virus. School can then be contacted first thing on Monday morning. If a pupil arrives late to school on the morning of the assessment, unfortunately they will not be granted extra time as per AQE guidance. The centre name, Banbridge Academy, and the starting and finishing times will be clearly displayed on the board in each room. Pupils will be allowed to carefully fill in the front cover of the assessment booklet with the centre name, their candidate number and their date of birth before each assessment begins. They will also receive 3 pieces of working out paper on which they should write their candidate number before the start of each assessment. All pages should be carefully placed inside the assessment booklet for collection at the end of each assessment. All work should be completed in pencil. Pupils will be instructed to sit in silence after completing the front cover of their assessment booklet and must not open the paper until told to do so by their invigilator. For each and every assessment, each invigilator will read out the following instructions from a script provided by AQE.
The assessment will last for 1 hour and 10 minutes. It will start at 10 a.m. and will finish at 11:10 a.m. I shall let you know when 20 minutes have passed, when 40 minutes have passed, and when 60 minutes have passed. When I tell you to begin, you should answer the questions as quickly and as carefully as you can. All answers should be written in pencil on the assessment paper. You should begin at the beginning and continue right through. If you come to a question that you are not able to answer, leave it and go on to the next question. You may return to this question later. You may do any rough working on the separate sheet or at the side of your assessment paper. When you are writing out your answer on the assessment paper, do so in your normal writing, making it as neat as possible. You must not give any help to another pupil, and you must not copy from another pupil. Make sure that you do not turn over 2 pages at once. If you are making any changes to your answers, try to do so as neatly as possible. If you wish to attract my attention, you should raise your hand. There are X pages in the assessment paper, and when I say turn over, you should turn to page 1 and start to answer the questions. Whenever you complete a page, go on to the next one without waiting to be told. If you are finished early, you will not be able to leave before the other pupils. You should look over your work and make sure that you have not missed any pages. You should work as carefully as you can. I am not able to answer any questions or give you any help during the test. If you think that there is a mistake on the paper, if the print is not clear, or if there may be a page missing, you should raise your hand and someone shall come to you. You must not talk during the assessment. You may turn the page over and start. I wish you all the best.
In the unlikely case of an emergency during the assessment, an alarm will sound. Pupils will be instructed to leave everything on their desk. Their invigilator will escort them out of the building to the front pitch, where they must stand 2 metres apart in a straight line without talking. If silence has been maintained and it is safe to do so, pupils will be reassured, brought back into school, afforded the necessary extra time and allowed to finish the assessment. At the end of the test, the invigilator will make the following announcement.
The assessment has now finished. Please put down your pencils and rubbers and sit without talking. Please put any extra used sheets into your assessment booklet, making sure that your number is on them, and close the booklet. Please continue to sit quietly until all the assessment papers are collected.
At the end of the assessment, pupils will leave their room and follow their prefect out of school and onto the pavement. They must remain silent until they reach the pavement. This is because candidates in other rooms, continuing to work owing to extra time granted through access arrangements determined by AQE, cannot be disturbed. At 11:15 a.m. on the morning of the first assessment, parents of children with blue lanyards will queue up on the left-hand side of the driveway, as directed by staff and prefects. They will wait as their children are walked down the pavement. As each pupil and parent see each other, they should step into the middle of the driveway and walk down and out through the exit gate. At 11:30 a.m, parents of children with green and yellow lanyards will repeat the same process, followed at 11:45 a.m. by parents of children with red lanyards. This process will be rotated as shown in your information pack, so that a different colour order will take place on the morning of each assessment. It is important that parents and pupils exercise patience as they wait to line up so that proper social distancing can be maintained. Should a parent and child not meet as planned, the parent should tell a member of staff who will direct them onto the front playground, where a prefect will be waiting with their child. We must emphasise the need to dress warmly and bring a small umbrella, as both parents and pupils will be outside during this entire process. Can we finish by wishing you and your child all the best as they prepare for this upcoming assessment. Please be reassured that other than the new guidelines for dropping off and collecting your child, all the other procedures have been in place for over 10 years. Although this year brings added mitigations, please note that our team of dedicated and experienced staff will be on hand to welcome your child and help them to settle. We look forward to meeting you on the 9th of January, but should you have any particular concern, please do not hesitate to contact our school office and we will be happy to help with any queries. Thank you for listening.